Hey everyone, good morning. Dennis K here with Belize Islands Real Estate. Hope you all are doing well today. Hey, listen, a lot of the questions I've been getting about Belize are regarding when is the right time to make the move. And of course, the answer is different for everyone. But in looking at when the right time is for you, I wanted to talk a little bit today about retirement and if you should really plan and organize yourself to move to Belize when you retire. And when I talk about retirement, I mean finishing whatever career you're in now so that you get a pension or something like that, or maybe you can cash out of some sort of investments in your whatever age that might be 40s, 50s, 60s. And then when you have that complete monetary freedom, move to Belize. Or might you consider an earlier trip to Belize, an earlier retirement, even if you know good and well that it's for a limited time. In other words, you're not going to spend the rest of your life in Belize, but maybe you have an opportunity to spend a year, 5 or 10 years before you actually physically retire. And I'm using retirement again in the most common definition of the word. So here are some things that I wanted you guys to think about today. First of all, here are my top three things to think about. First of all, you need to consider your current and future circumstances and responsibilities. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is right now, if you're in your maybe 20s or 30s, you might have the perfect circumstances to move to Belize because you might not have a lot of responsibilities that are keeping you where you are, right? If that's the case, and if you have the possibility or opportunity to maybe work online, live as a digital nomad, then I would highly recommend that you not put off moving to Belize for any length of time, but that you quickly try to get yourself arranged to move down as soon as possible. The basic or the reason being is that you don't know how your circumstances or responsibilities might change in the future that would prevent you from living in a country like Belize as an expat for an extended period of time. Now, it might be that for you at this point in your life, you already have responsibilities that would prevent you just from up and moving. Maybe your circumstances with your current job, career, family situation require you to stay where you're at for the next 5, 10, or 15 years. So, in that case, then you have no choice but to put retiring in Belize off. But there are certain things that you can do right now to set yourself up for that future retirement. Maybe you have a little land investment, maybe you'll build a little home, a little Airbnb, get a little side business going in Belize, something so that keeps you reaching toward your goals. Now, the second thing I would encourage you guys to look at is when you see yourself in Belize, what type of lifestyle or activities do you see yourself doing to get the most enjoyment out of your experience? So, for example, if you're younger and you have a lot of energy, you have a lot of stamina, and you want to engage in things that take those things, then you might want to come to Belize right now. You know, say, forget about waiting to Belize when I'm older because I don't know what my health and fitness is going to be like when I get much older. So while I'm younger, while I'm healthy, while I have these circumstances or free of responsibilities, let me go and do it now, even if I say to myself, you know what? This is something I'm going to do for 3 years. I'm going to take my life as it is right now in the U.S. or Canada. I'm going to put it on pause. It's not a complete disconnect, right? You're not breaking all ties. You're simply saying, you know what? I'm going to put my North American life on pause for the next 1, 3, or 5 years, knowing full well that your plans are after your stint in Belize, you're going to go back to normal life, so to speak. You probably won't, but here's what you can tell yourself: I'm going to go back, set up shop again, and then I'll prepare for my retirement there. But while I'm young, I'm going to do it. Or if that's not your case right now, let's say you have some years left before you can retire, but those years left are going to be well spent. You're going to finish off your career, you're going to get your house paid for or paid off, you're going to maybe get the kids growing out of the house into college or something like that. So now you're saying to yourself, you know what, I'm going to use this remaining time now so that when I am able to retire, then I'm going to come to Belize. And sure, my life in Belize might be different then, than it would be if I moved when I was younger, but at least I'm going to experience that type of more active retirement that I'm looking for. And then finally, you need to look at it financially. Of course, maybe this would come first, but I've always been of the mindset that if there's a will, there's a way. And so you got to look at your finances. Now, for example, when you are younger, you might be thinking to yourself, well, I don't really want to up and leave now because I'm sort of gaining some traction in my business or in my career, and I'm afraid that if I, sort of put a pause on my career now, then when I come back from my 3 or 5 years in Belize, I'm going to have to start all over again. That's not necessarily true. I mean, it can be true in some cases, but you can use your move to Belize as a springboard to earn more money in the future or to build a nest egg. So let me give you two examples here. So we have a young couple here on the left. They've obviously chucked it all and they are living somewhere tropical, right? Could be Belize, could be Cabo, could be anywhere in the world. But that couple living as an expat, I'm talking to expat as an American or Canadian living outside those countries, their tax structure is going to be different than if they were living in the US or Canada. So, most likely, depending on where they're living, certainly this is true of if they're living in Belize, but their tax structure is going to be a lot less. All right. So imagine this couple, they have some sort of online jobs. Maybe they're teaching English, maybe they're consulting. Both of them are working, maybe part time or full time. But the next 3 to 5 years living in Belize, they're going to minimize their expenses. All right. So they're not going to have a car. They're not going to have car insurance. They're not going to have a big gas bill every month. Their health care is going to be a lot less in Belize. They're going to save money in other areas of their life. And so while they're saving money, they're also saving on taxes, income taxes, completely legal. And then at the end of 3 to 5 years, they're going to be able to go back home, wherever home is, with that nice nesting in place, maybe invest that however they want to invest it. Could be in real estate, could be the stock market, apartment buildings, whatever it is. But their time in Belize is going to enable them to build up this war chest. Now, if they hadn't moved to Belize and they stuck in their current jobs or current careers for the next 3 to 5 years, then what's going to happen is that with inflation and with having the two cars, having the house, trying to keep up with the Joneses, or not trying to keep up with the Joneses, but trying to keep up with what's expected of them in their area, right? Where they live, how they dress, where they go out to dinner, things like that. The next 3 to 5 years, they might be able to put very little away into their retirement savings or into their war chest by comparison. So that might be something for them to think about. Now, for example, in the right hand side picture, you see the older couple. This couple might have exited their business, sold their business. They might have retired from their careers. They might have had they have a nice pension, a payout, whatever it might be. They might still even own a business, but now that business could be running itself, so it doesn't require their day-to-day activity. Now they're financially able to move to Belize without any sort of financial concerns, just be able to enjoy life, right? So at the end of the day, you just kind of need to decide which category do I fall in. And because Steph and I moved to Belize when we were quite young, I was 33, she was 27. I had never lived out of the United States. So, we both had never done something like this before. And what that, did for us is help us to have a completely different worldview of, where we want to live, what we want to do with our time. And it had a major impact on our finances, and it still does today. So those are some things to think about if you're planning to retire in Belize in the strictest sense of the word, retirement, or if you're looking for some sort of sabbatical in Belize, a pre-retirement plan, living there for a year, 3, 5, or more, completely up to you guys, of course. But here's some things to think about, and that you might, sort of next time we get on a Zoom call together, if you want to talk about one or more aspects of these with me, maybe we can figure something out and what works best for you. Sound good? All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you watching today. If you enjoy these videos, please hit the subscribe button. I know it's a vanity metric and nobody really cares. It doesn't really make a difference, but I am coming up on 5,000 subscribers. And the more people that subscribe, the more people that view the channel, the more people have an opportunity to think about maybe living somewhere differently or investing offshore or just, having a different type of life or a goal set or mindset. So if you hit the subscribe button, I really appreciate it. I'll get that over 5,000 here probably in the next maybe 10, 14 days. It'll make me feel good. And who knows, maybe it'll affect the algorithms that YouTube uses and be able to get our videos out to more people. Sound good? All right. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you watching today, and we'll talk to you soon.